This video is going to be a paradox. I'm going to encourage you to do something, and then later in the video, I'm going to tell you why that thing is actually impossible. But I hope that you'll stick with me because I think there's value in being with paradox, because I'm both a life coach and a practitioner of Zen Buddhism, and according to Zen, reality is inherently paradoxical. So um, I want to begin by suggesting a very powerful question that you can ask yourself when you feel stuck in life. What if this never changes? So, if you feel like you are kind of stuck in a repeating pattern, every day is hard, this relationship is always hard, this job is always hard, I'm never getting enough sleep, I'm always bored, I always get dissatisfied, I always run out of motivation, whatever it is, it's so easy to cling to the idea that the future is going to be different, right? I just have to wait. I can be happy when X comes true. I can finally feel fulfilled once this happens, right? Once I find a better relationship, once I find a better job, once I wake up one morning and I feel energized. So we keep waiting. We keep waiting for that spark of insight that one day I'm going to realize, oh, this is my passion. This is my calling. This is my purpose. Oh, today's the day to finally leave this relationship that isn't working for me. All right, so we're waiting for the future. So another question to ask yourself similarly is, what are you waiting for? Right? If you feel stuck in some way, what specifically are you waiting for? What do you imagine are the circumstances in which the pain that you're feeling will stop feeling so insurmountable? Right? Like you know that something in your life isn't working for you, but you're just hoping that one day some feeling or some energy, some motivation, something inside you is just going to be different. And then suddenly it's going to feel more doable, right? So get clear on what specifically are you waiting to change? What circumstances in your life do you think once those are different, I can finally be happy, I can finally be free, whatever it is, right? And then challenge yourself to imagine, well, what if I need to stop waiting for that because that's never going to happen, right? Like some of us, for example, get stuck in a bad relationship and we're kind of waiting somehow, like subconsciously, for the other person to give us permission to leave. Or we're waiting for the other person to, overtly ruin it in some way so that we then have an excuse to leave. Or we're waiting for our job to get just bad enough. Like it's real bad, but it's not bad enough. I can still bear it. And I just need to wait for something to push me over the edge, and then I'll finally give myself permission to actually leave. Right? So if you instead ask, well, what if things remain just like this forever? Then it forces you to adapt, to say, well, if I never wake up with an increased burst of motivation, if my partner never screws me over more, then it means that I'm not just at the whim of fate. I'm not just waiting for kind of destiny to happen or the external world to happen, but I actually need to take responsibility and decide today's the day, right? So that can be really empowering to just notice what you're waiting for and imagine that it's never going to be different than it is today. So if today feels hard, it's not going to feel easier in the future, right? So I can only deal with it today. I can only deal with it under these circumstances. So that's the first part. Then the second part is, according to Zen, according to Buddhism, the truth is that the the only real thing about life is that it's always changing. Nothing is ever static. You are never static. The world around you is never static. Even our sun is going to stop its nuclear reactions at some point and die out. The galaxy is going to fade out. Everything is going to change at some point, right? So that's why I say kind of imagine that things are going to stay the same, just as kind of a thought experiment, because the truth is they're not. The truth is that if you really observe your experience every day, it is always changing. You are always changing. And so really, the core thing that you have control over in life is awareness. You get to choose what you pay attention to, right? It's like imagining you have a video camera and you're kind of choosing where you point it. You have a flashlight and you're choosing what you shine the light on. And that's kind of what you're practicing in meditation and mindfulness. But really, at the core level, what you can do here is every day say you're waking up with no energy, or you feel like I'm stuck. And so you're really focused on seeing things that way, right? You're kind of focused on the stuckness, focused on the low energy. But what you really have control over is where you point your light. So your awareness is focused on the thing that is stuck, is not working, but you can practice through these kind of thought experiments and exercises, pointing it elsewhere and saying, well, what if I need to stop waiting? What if I need to stop focusing on how this is never, how I'm waiting for these circumstances to be different, and instead focus on what can I actually control today? What can I actually control under these circumstances? Assuming they never change, you're focusing your awareness on what is actually possible already instead of having to wait. All right? So I challenge you right now, as you finish this video, to think about some area of your life where it's felt like it's been on repeat. You've just been ruminating, you've just been waiting, you're waiting for X to happen in the future so that you can be happy. And that could be all sorts of things. You're waiting for someone to do something, you're waiting for something to change in the world, you're waiting for something politically to change, you're waiting for yourself to feel different, you're waiting for your body to change, right? What thing are you waiting for? And if you imagine it's not going to change, what would you do differently? And then, because things always do change, you can choose to change right now by choosing what you focus on differently. Focus on what you have power over, what you have control over, what you have agency over, and is there a small step you can make today toward changing? All right. I hope that helps. I wish you a nourishing day.